Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So we got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekad Kodash. The honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing his truth and believing his truth throughout the four winds of the earth. The entire world shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the outwalks who are listening, learning. You few sisters who are listening, learning. Coming into the lesson in truth, fact, faith, and edification. Of data edification, Lord, witness be edifying. So I titled this lesson again, the third time. News and prophecies in the news. And everything that goes on in the news that we see daily, world news, local news, it was already written in the scriptures. And we supposed to watch what goes on in the world and filter the news through the scriptures. Because it was already written in the scriptures. You just have to, the Lord just have to give you that understanding of the scriptures to see that it's prophecy that's playing out that was already written down a four time ago for our learning, as it said in Romans 15:4. Now, according to prophecy, all these nations that's joined to America, the allied nations of America, will separate from America and join what is known today, the BRICS nations. The BRICS being Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, Russia, as it tell you in Ezekiel 39, will be a guard to these nations. See, the Lord set up a nation that ain't scared to go against America. And that's what the other nations need. They need somebody that will stand in the paint to show other nations that America ain't so tough. So America being a bully, through their economic warfare, they put sanctions and embargoes on different nations. Well, the Lord said Russia is going to be a guard to these nations. So this is an article, and I was reading the other two lessons, but I ain't going to even read it. I'm just reading the title. Egypt ditches U.S. dollar in trade with the bloc. So this is what's going on behind the scenes. These nations are separated from Babylon the Great, as prophecies say. And this is one article. So let me get another one. Every time I went into the article, it was a problem. So I'm just going to show you the titles because this is news and prophecies in the news. Now this one say, bear with me here. This one say, BRICS, Saudi Arabia signs $5.6 billion deal with Chinese EV company, which is our electric cars, right? It said they signed a 5.6 billion. Saudi Arabia is America's number one cash cow. The petrodollar, the greenback, was formed through oil trades with Saudi Arabia and America. Saudi Arabia is America's number one ally. Okay, it's America's cash cow. So this is a problem. And when you read in Isaiah 13, it tells you that the Arabians shall neither pinch tent there, meaning it's going to be a separation from Saudi Arabia and America. This is happening now. Because in this article, I tell you, I did a lesson on it a while ago that Saudi Arabia and Argentina and Iran and Egypt have uh um have signed to join the BRICS nations. This is prophecy playing out. Let me get this next one. Now this is, let's get this one. I got four here. I want to show them get some precepts. You see what it say? America has failed millennials so badly they are turning to $1,000 per month side hustles to make ends meet. Let me see if I can read this. It's a waking up to work. It's a waking up to work, even though you might not want to, has not so affectionately become known as part of the hustle. And while the pandemic has made many workers denounce such hustle culture, the truth of the matter is that now workers are hustling harder than ever to make ends meet at the cost of living continues to outpace stagnant wages. Let's see. I don't want, okay, see, won't let me go into it. It's okay. So, right here again, it say, don't let me go into it. I got to sign in, sign up. America has failed millennials so badly, they're turning to $1,000 per month side hustles to make ends meet. See, this is the fall of Babylon the Great, man. This place is falling. And let me get this last article. And it's talking about when they say the millennials, America has failed the millennials, it's talking about Edomites, man. This ain't talking about so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. It's talking about Edomites, man. Now this is another hot topic. It's a permitless carry goes into effect for Florida residents. See if I can read some of this. In a couple of weeks, residents living in Florida will be able to carry a concealed weapon or firearm without having a concealed weapons or firearm license. This is due to the House Bill 543, also known as permitless carry. The new bill will be going in effect on July the 1st, 2023. The Fort Myers Police Department wants to remind residents that firearms will still be prohibited in certain places such as schools, colleges, universities, bars, courthouses, etc. FMPD says the new law does not change who can purchase a firearm or the waiting period to purchase a firearm. No, they just finna make Babylon the Great, Orlando, Florida, Wild Wild West. That's what it's finna do. So I just want to show these articles, right? Because dealing with these nations, the allies of America, they're separating. That's prophecy, which I'm going to read. I'm going to read in Obadiah. And dealing with these guns, right? You know, the scriptures say dealing with weapons, it talks about in 2nd Ezra 15 how there shall be sedition among men, invading one another with swords in their hands, right? What's the swords? It's these guns. But first, let me get this. get this in Obadiah. It's Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. That's the invading one another with swords in their hands. It's the guns, man. So dealing with the BRICS ditching the US Egypt ditching the US dollar, Saudi Arabia is ditching the US dollar. They're doing billion and Saudi Arabia doing $1 billion deals with China and Russia, man. Okay? Remember in Obadiah and in Ezekiel 39, Russia is a guard to these other nations. So this is Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. See now, what's going on is a separation, and now these nations are going to join Russia, and they're going to make America go to the border to fight, man. Matter of fact, let's get that. Hold on. In Joel 2 and 20. Because remember, the whole goal that the Lord established, the so-called white man, his whole existence is to make these nations go to war. In Joel 2 and 20, backing up the point when it said that they have brought thee even to the border. That means to fight. Joel 2 and 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, to my America's army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, which is the Persian Gulf, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea, which is the Red Sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. And Ezra mentioned this about all you can see, all you perceive to see was dust and smells of smoke. Talking about those bodies burning. Is also in Isaiah 34, that smell from them bodies. So the Lord said, but I will remove far from you the northern army and drive him to a land buried and desolate. Okay, with his face towards the east sea, the Persian Gulf, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea. So right here in Obadiah, when it say, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Who are the men of the Confederacy of America? China. You got used to be India, right? Egypt. All these nations. When you look up, if you go to the UN, matter of fact, let me get it here. See if I can get it. If you go to the UN, there's 193 nations. Let me type it in. Hold on. Let's see if it'll give it to me. So right here say, so it got, so let's say for NATO, matter of fact, let me show you. Let me put on the screen real quick. So right here, she said for NATO, of 31 members of NATO, 2 are North American countries and 29 are European countries, right? Make sure it's still good. Okay. Now, let me do this. That's what NATO, EU. Let me see. So right here, it say, make sure you can see it. Okay. See right here, there are currently 193 UN member states. Each of the member states of the United Nations has one seat in the General Assembly. Information about current members' growth of membership since 1945, the procedure on how a country becomes a member, and the membership of principal UN organs is provided below. So it's showing you 193 nations. Okay, you got EU and NATO. Let's go back to this right here. Just click this one. It said for the League of Nations, member states of the League of Nations said the member states of the United Nations compromise is a comprise 193 sovereignty states. The United Nations is the world's largest intergovernmental organization. Look at Rome all over again. You see it? Rome in Greece. See the image? This is called Roman infrastructure. If you go to Google and type in Roman architecture, it'll show you this. All members have equal representation in the UN General Assembly. See? 193 nations. And now, all these nations, as a matter of fact, there's something here. Let me see if I can do this. Let me get this real quick. All these nations, which I'm reading right now in uh in Obadiah 1:7, when it say all the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. See? See how Rome architecture look? See? Yeah, the same. All the same. So anyway, let's get back to this. Same Roman Empire all over again, man. So it says 193 nations that joined to the UN. So back in Obadiah 1:7, it reads, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Well, what can you read about the confederacy at? You got Psalms 83. It reads, verse 2, for lo, thy enemies. Matter of fact, let's read one. Keep not thy silent, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against the hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. Now I forgot who it was, but somebody was reading this in a different translation. Let me get it here. So in a different translation, it said you got the NIV. It said, with cunning, they conspire against your people. They plot against those you cherish. See? Then the Lord said, we the apple of his eye, Israel. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians is the apple of the Lord's eye. Again, NIV say, with cunning, they conspire against your people. They plot against those you cherish. ESV say, they lay crafty plans against your people. They consult together against your treasured ones. CSB, they devise clever schemes against your people. They conspire against your treasured ones. See? Let me see what In the NET said they carefully plot against your people and make plans to harm the ones you cherish. NIV said they devise crafty schemes against your people. They conspire against you, against your precious ones. Ooh, precious. The Lord called us in Malachi. He said when he make up his jewels, man, that's crazy. So let's go back. I was thinking about it. I was stuck for a sec. I was thinking about the word precious. That's another one. When the Lord say, I think it's in Deuteronomy, if I ain't mistaken. But anyway, it said they have taken crafty counsel against our people. They consulted, they consulted against our hidden ones. For it say they are consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. See, I'm looking for this word confederate here, just as it say in Obadiah 1 and 7. The tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites, these are the Arabs. It say of Moab, which is so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes. Let's look up this word Hagarenes. Hagarenes say a people dwelling to the east of Palestine, with whom the tribes of Reuben made war in the time of Saul, of one of David's servants. Oh, it's a Hagarite or a member of a certain Arabian clan. Mm, one of David's servants. Mm, let's go back. Let's see. It said the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, which is said Arabs, right? Of Moab and of Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon. Let's see who Gabal is. This for those that's new to the faith. So here's Gabal. It's a region in Idumea, Gabal. It don't give you much. But it's a Seir, a region in Idumea. Let's go on the Scrolls. Salakia. It's a uh, maritime town of Phoenicia near Tyre, known to the Greeks. So it's a Phoenician, a place in Phoenicia, Gabal. So it's the tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, the Chinese, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, the Japanese, and Amalek. Amalek would be the chief of the Edom. So it mentioned Edom twice here. Mentioned the so-called white man twice. And it's crazy because in the nation of these Edomites, the so-called white man, you got those that's called the small hats or the land of Israel. They said that they different from these people. Edom. There's a separation between Edom and Amalek. Amalek can be the chief ones, your elites, those that make the laws, pass bills. Okay, they create policy. Who control the money? Then you got the regular Edomites. Okay, these is different because you got both of these nations, both of these two names. They all from the Edomites, so-called white men, but they point fingers and say, "Oh, y'all Edomites and we different. They all the same people." It said Amalek, the Philistines, which are the African nations, the so-called Africans, the real nationality is Hamites, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Tyre is representing those Hamite nation, the Philistines, because Ham had 4 sons. Okay, those are the ones where the Canaanites will be the ones that snatched us up and sold us to the so-called white man. Well, all of them had a part in But you got this main one right here when it mentions the inhabitants of Tyre. Let me go to that. When you go to Genesis 10, see these people all came together because they couldn't do it. If it had to be one of these nations by themselves, they couldn't have took us down. Now the scripture tell you that in Deuteronomy 32 and 30, it says, except the Lord have given a nation to another nation's hand, they couldn't be taken down. So none of these nations could have took us down one at a time. They had to come together and take us down. But it was the Lord. Genesis 10 and 1. Now these are the generation of the son of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. So you got the sons of Japheth right here. When you go to the sons of Ham, what we try to tell people, we ain't no Africans, man. Genesis 10 and 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim, and Put and Canaan, right? Now, when you go to the sons of Canaan, let's go down. These are the ones. These bastards is the ones, man. Right here. It say, and Canaan, Genesis 10 and 15, and Canaan begot Zidon, his firstborn, and Heth. Now, see this name saying Canaan begot Zidon? Let me show it to you. You try to tell Jake, we ain't no Africans, man. Okay? We came from Noah's oldest son, Shem, man. We didn't come from Noah's youngest son, Ham. This word Zidon, see, you got ancient Phoenician city, a Mediterranean coast north of Tyre. So when you see it mentioned Tyre, Philistines and Tyre in Psalms 83, it's talking about right here, okay? Canaan's first son, Zidon. See it say and of a place in Palestine, Zidon. See it say Zidon with a Z, then an S. So when you look at this right now, you got the Israelis, the small hats, fighting against the Palestinians, which the Palestinians, that part of that portion of that land is split up between the Arabs and the Elamites. And so it's the Arabs against the Iranians. These are East Indians. Okay, that's who in Palestine. Because this word Palestine really go back to Philistine. Okay, so the point is Zidon. Now watch this. So and Canaan begot Zidon, his firstborn. When you go to Joel, I'm making a point here. When you go to Joel 3, and that's why, hey, Moab and Ammon, Ishmael, they all gonna get it, man. But what the Hamites did to us, man, by selling us to Esau, this is Joel 3 and 1. For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley, into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. See, the land is split over there between the small hats, the Israelis, and the Palestinians. It's split. Tell you in Amos 7 and 7. The Lord gonna draw a line on it, man. See, right here. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. What do they sell us at? It's a cast lots. Wall Street, the beginning of the so-called white man's rulership here in America. Wall Street, if you don't know, go look it up. You probably can find it. Wall Street was built, Wall Street was established off the blood, sweat, and tears off the backs of so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians on auctioning blocks. Okay? They separated the husband and the wife and the kids and split them up and sold them to all three different plantations, man. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot. You can watch it in the movie Roots. Oh, we got to go back way back to Roots. You can watch it on what's this movie? Nat Turner, Birth of a Nation, man. If you ever saw that movie, you saw when he told the master, she'll be a good housewife for his wife, a good servant. He wound up marrying the chick. It say, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. Yeah, and what will ye do to me? And what will you do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? See, Zidon is the first son of Canaan. Let's get this word Zidon. Because in the Old Testament, it got an S on it. In the New Testament, it's a Z. Let's get it right here. See, Zidon, Sidon. These are the one that snatched us up, man, and sold it to the so-called white man for muzzle-loading guns, cheap rum and wine. See, it said the same thing right here that it said in the Old Testament. Ancient Phoenician city on Mediterranean coast north of Tyre. It's the same thing it said when I pulled up Zidon in Genesis 10. See the name of a son of Canaan and of a place in Palestine. See the original one that was over there in that place, Palestine, before we went and took the land, before the Lord gave us that land, it was these Philistines, man. That's who was in that land, man. Hamites. Okay? Look, Zidon hunting. They sure hunted our asses out and sold us to Esau Edom. This guy come to the camp this 1 week before I started the camera. Told me, don't turn the camera on. I'm telling him. He asked me, how do we know? How do we know? No, he said, how did the white man know where we was at? I said, what you mean? After fleeing from the Romans in 70 AD? What do you mean? How did they know where we was at? So I quoted to him Daniel 28 when it say there is no secret that you can hide from them, man. They are wiser than Daniel, man. I said, bro, you don't think? I said, bro, you got to remember who we dealing. We dealing with Yahweh Shema Shai. We dealing with Yahweh, man. Omnipotent, omnipotent. What you mean? How they knew that we was the Israelites? What you mean? You don't think the Lord had this already set up? Yahweh already said it when you read in Luke 21, when you see armies come past Jerusalem, flee ye to the mountains. The Lord had that set up. So you tell me you don't think these bastards with all the money, they had the money back then, right? They had the money to get these boats and navigate and go to different places. Man, listen. And when you watch the movie 1492, they knew where the Northern Kingdom went at, man. They knew they came on this side of the world. Okay? They know about that. Solomon, the history, hey, the scriptures, listen. Solomon came over here, Solomon sent men over here to come over here and get different items from America, man. You don't think the Edomites knew about that? And they controlled all the history, they controlled all the artifacts, all the information. Yeah. It said, yeah, and what will ye do to me? And what will ye do? And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine, which is Philistine? Let me show you this mean Philistine right here. Talking about them damn Hamites, man. Let's go to it. Philistia. See right here? Philistia. You see it? The general territory on the west coast of Canaan, or the entry country of Palestine. See? Hamites, man. That's who had that first, man. Before Esau Edom went over there, the Hamites was in there, man. These are the ones that snatched us up, man. Let me see. The Hebrews, the rolling ashes. Anyway, let's go back. So all these nations, let me get this now. In Psalms, was that 71 and 10. See, they all came together to take us down. Well, now, right, Obama is a Helmite too. Right, facts. They all came together to take us down. This is Psalm 71 and 10. For my enemies speak against me, And they that lay wait for my soul, they do what? They take counsel together. That's what they did, man. They took counsel together. And it's plenty precepts on how they came together to take us down. So let's go back to Obadiah. I ain't mean to even go into all that, man. But anyway, it's the spirit. I got a couple of precepts on the read. Because dealing with them gun laws, man, it's gonna be the wild, wild west out here, which is already is now, man. It's so much death going on, and I'm just talking about in Orlando, in Miami. It's horrible down here, man. Horrible, man. And if we can watch every news channel, I'm talking about the local, regular garbage news. If we can watch every news channel in every state or in every city, it's what over 60 some cities down here in Florida. If you can watch every news channel in every city down here, man, there's thousands upon thousands that die every day. And we talking about 50 states, every state, every country, I mean every city in that state, man, ain't nothing but death. Y'all about Shemam shot work all day, every day. It said all the men that Confederacy have brought thee even to the border, meaning to fight. See, this Confederacy, they separate now. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and did what? Prevailed against thee. Now they joining bricks. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. See, now let's get this in Second Ezra, because it tell you. Let me drop all this. I don't even need none of this no more. It tell you that well, I'm finna get it. It said they should have swords in their hands, man. They talking about these guns. These little just run around here thugging, man. Just killing Jake for no reason because they some GMO babies, man. And they don't got nothing else to do, man. PlayStation and them played out for these Jakes, man. They out here just, as they tell you in Isaiah 51, they lied the head of every street like wild bulls in a net, man. The scriptures say that. The Lord already said that was going to happen, man. Jake be at the top, on the block, on the corners, hanging out. The 5 o'clock in the morning. That's what they doing. This is Second Ezra, like wild bulls in the net, man. Second Ezra 15 and 16, it reads, let's start at 14. Let me pull this. Bear with me here. So you can see it. Hey, Shalom to all the Akim not walk tuning in. Yahba Shema Shah Brakathum. I did this lesson. I tried to do this lesson twice a day. And Esau kept playing with me, man. Second Ezra 15 and 14, it reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. What's the sword? The gun. And what are they doing? As your brother Dawa Daw in the comment board, I don't know if he's still there, but he was mentioning the lesson that Elder Monat Zabba did about a couple weeks ago or so, that they done passed a bill for you to walk around without a carrying license over 20 states. It's the wild, wild west out here, man. And it's always been bad in St. Louis and Little Rock, Arkansas and California. Okay, these gangbangers, man. What is that? Flint, Michigan. Uh, it's another. What is that? Minnesota. It's bad out here, man. It said, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another. How? And swords in their hands. The guns, man. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings. I want you to remember this. Verse 16. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Now I'm gonna show you this, because it said they should not regard their kings nor princes. It always been sedition amongst everybody, but we talking about Jake, man. This is Ezra, chapter 4 and 15. That's why King David said it in what is that? Psalms I think it's Psalms 55. This is Ezra 4 and 15. It reads, They search, it said that search may be made in books of records of thy fathers. So shalt thou find the books of the records, and know that this city is a rebellious city and hurtful unto kings and provinces, and that they have moved sedition within the same old time, for which cause was this city destroyed. This is verse 19. Same thing it say. It said, and I commanded, and search have been made, and it is found that this city of old time have made insurrection. Insurrection is a violent uprising against kings, and that rebelled and sedition have been made therein. See, you see, it's always have been insurrection and sedition. Always, man. This ain't nothing new. What's about to go down is prophecy, man. It's not nothing new dealing with this. So it's gonna lead to this is let me get this in Isaiah. Oh, matter of fact, let me get this first. I mentioned the one in Psalms. I think it's Psalms 55. Let's see. It always been sedition, man, and insurrection. Yeah. Psalms 55 in verse 10. This is King David. See it? A psalm of David. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. See, it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from him, like David did from Saul. But it was thou, a man, my equal, my God, and my acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked into the house of God in company. So some guy that's supposed to be in the truth with you, y'all was in the truth together. Okay? But the point is, say wickedness is in the midst thereof, deceit and God, the partner from her streets. Always been sedition and insurrection. Because back in Ezra it said, let's read it again. Ezra 4:19, and I commanded, and search had been made, and it is found that this city of old time, Jerusalem, have made insurrection against kings, and that rebellion and sedition have been made therein. See, they have been mighty kings also over Jerusalem, which had ruled over all countries beyond the river, and toll, tribute, and custom was paid unto them. So it says Second Ezra. Let's go back to this. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power." So a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able, because it's going to be martial law. So here you got Jake now, and these Edomites. Because when you go to what is that? Um Isaiah 19, it said the Egyptian shall be against the Egyptian. Now I want to get this, because this is what these guns is leading to, and it's already happening now. But in Jacob's trouble, ain't no food out here. It's gonna be serious, man. This Isaiah 19 and 17 it reads, "Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall he have mercy on the fathers and widows, for everyone is an hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For wickedness burneth as the fire, it devoureth the browse and thorns," which is the two-thirds, "and shall kindle in the thickets of the forest, in the streets, in the cities. They shall mount up like the lifting up of smoke." Talking about the people. It says, "Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire." Here's the point. "No man shall spare his brother." See, there's another one about no man shall spare his brother. Like it said in Second Ezra, this is Zechariah 14 and 13. They should invade one another with swords in their hands, man, guns. And this bastard, it got Jake running around here, don't gotta have no carrying license, man. They don't got them now. They don't care. Zechariah 14 and 13. It shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from Yahweh shall be among them, and they shall lay hold everyone on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. It's gonna be back and forth, man, with swords. Yeah, the 2/3 crew, man, out here just living like beasts, just like beasts, man. Or the brother said, "Yep, see, 24 states don't require a permit to carry a gun. See that? It's the wild wild west out here, man. Man, that's already almost half, man. Madness, man. But this is where we headed. And they setting everything in order, man. They said Esau, this bastard is slick, man. Because remember, his whole goal is to take down many of us Israelites as possible, man. That's their goal, man. So they setting all this uh order out of chaos. They setting it up, man. Man. But they call what? Evil good and good evil. That's what they doing now. So they can establish that order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. They turning good evil and evil good, man. These devils are some real crafty bastards, man. For real, for real. So anyway, I just want to make some points on. I saw those articles. I had put them in the chat just in case I would forgot about them, man. But that's where they at now, man. We here. The millennials, as the title say, millennials are turning millennials. It said America has failed millennials so badly they are turning to $1,000 per month side hustles to make ends meet, man. These Americans, hey, and that's why hey, but as it said in Isaiah 19. Matter of fact, let's close with that. Isaiah 19 and 2. It reads, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. See, this is where we at, man. But this is the Lord's movie. This is the Lord playing chess with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Because it tell you in Daniel 2 that they shall mingle themselves with the seeds of men, but they shall not cleave one to another. This place, the Edomites have never been on the same page. They've been fighting amongst themselves. Okay, during the time of the Greeks. The minute Alexander the Greek died, his four generals was fighting amongst themselves, man. Just like the French, the Spanish, and the British. Same difference, man. As it tell you in Mark 3, 23 through 25, right? They are separate. They are not on the same page. Well, this is called prophecy, man. And the end goal is gonna be sedition out here, insurrection. And they setting it up, man, for you to walk around with a gun with no carrying license, man. Well, he's setting up order out of chaos, man. Order out of chaos. They doing this is designed purposely, man. They got a agenda called problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, the people react, no matter what kind of reaction it be. Okay, casualties of war and collateral damage, and then they create a solution, man. This is how crafty. That's why I say in Ephesians 6 that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, man. His trickery, crafty, cunning, conniving, mad, what is called uh, sorceries, man. Sorceries, man. Right. GMS saints of the Most High, Zechariah 9:13. When I have bent Judah for me, when I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. And that's what the elect waiting on. That's Ezekiel 25 as well. Ezekiel 25, 12 through 14. And the Lord said He's gonna put his spirit on his men, and they're gonna get busy too in righteousness. So Lord was edifying. Gonna give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rikak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishop and elders, a great millstone who rule well, who teach well, while the apostles and elders of all of Israel already accepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all the can pushing this truth and believing this truth, throughout the four ends of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Hey, throughout for tuning in, throughout for your precepts. May Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Wah, abba, abba.